let me write down the problem that was asked. I have 2 laptops today, so a little easier for me. Okay. So here's the problem that she had. Okay. Sam, whose class are you in? So I have a bit of a lag in my video feed, so I apologize for that. Okay, so the very first thing in factoring that you have to do is the greatest common factor. That's always the very first thing. Greatest common factor. So, the greatest common factor, what do these 2 things have in common? It would be 9. And we're going to factor that out. Okay, so when I factor out 9, 36 divided by 9, what do you get? Does anyone hear me here? 4y squared minus, and what is 9 divided by 9? Which is going to be 1. But then you still have to factor it because you have to look at it and you have to count how many terms it has. It has 2 terms. So if it has 2 terms, you have to see if it's a dots problem, a difference of 2 squares. And I know I didn't cover that too much in my period 2 and 5 class. We will be getting into it more. But when you factor a dots problem, you're going to do 2 sets of parentheses. What's the square root of 4y squared, which is 2y? What is the square root of 1, which is 1? And every single time the sign is going to be plus and minus. So I know that this one is a square and that's a square, and it's possible to factor it as 6y and 3, but that's not the proper way to do it because you have to take out this GCF right here first. That's super important. Okay, so if you don't take out the GCF, it's going to be marked wrong. All right, great. Thanks, Anthony. Okay, so what's the next step? Next question, I'm so sorry. Next question. Why is it always plus and minus? My teacher taught me, but I forget. Okay, so it's either plus or minus or plus, but let's do a normal problem here. Okay, let me give you an example of another DOS problem. Let's do a simple one. X squared minus 4. So first of all, GCF. Do these 2 things have anything in common that I can factor out? No. So, is this a square? Yes, it's x times x. Is this a square? Yes, it's 2 times 2. So then you do 2 sets of parentheses, x here, 2 here, and it doesn't matter if it's plus or minus and plus, it's the same thing. So here is why. If you were taught a very traditional method called FOIL in Algebra 1, you would do the first, so let's do the 2 first, x squared. You would do the outside, x times 2, which is 2x. You would do the inside here, which is negative 2 times x. And then you would do the last, which is negative 2 times 2. So, which is negative 4. Now you're going to collect like terms right here. So what happens to positive 2x and negative 2x? They cancel out. Perfect. So look what my answer is. X squared minus 4. It's back to the original problem. So I need you to think about factoring like it's dividing. Okay, it's just the opposite of the distributive property, okay, which is really what FOIL is. It's just the distributive property. It's just the opposite of that. Okay, any other questions? I'm going to keep it nice and short today, only answering questions. Hi Eric, how are you? Okay, if we're not going to have any more questions, I'm going to end it, you guys. Oh, there you are. Okay, so Kara, you're going to have to go back and watch the beginning part of it because I answered your question from up here. Okay, so just go back and watch the beginning of this. Good evening, Sunken. I don't know who you are. So Kara, when I end this, just go back to the beginning and watch it from the watch it again. Okay, Trudy. Hi, Trudy. So in a trinomial, if the signs are plus and minus, the sign will be negative, and if both are positive, it is positive. That is correct. So if you can memorize the patterns, there's patterns to the trinomials. So this is the trinomial, and this is the factored form. Okay, so, oh, sorry, that's supposed to be parentheses, so factored form. Okay, if it's plus and plus for the trinomial, it will always be plus and plus here. Okay, the problem that you gave Trudy, if it is minus plus, the factored form will always be minus minus. And the reason why is because negative times a negative makes positive. Okay, so the other two forms. If it is plus minus, it will always be plus minus, but the plus will be the higher number. And then if it's minus minus, again, it will be plus minus, except this time, the negative sign will be the higher number. So some teachers, and in the past, I've written this as a chart, I've had kids memorize it, but it's really because for this one, when you check your SMILE, which is what I talk about, when you add them together, the higher number has to be positive, that's the middle term here. And then here, the higher term has to be negative, that's why the negative is here. So if you can copy down this chart and take a look at it when you do your homework, that should probably help you a little bit. All right, anything else, guys? I got some papers to grade, stuff to do for tomorrow. Oh, you're welcome. Okay, so no more questions. I want everyone to have a very good night. I hope this helped you, and maybe people can watch it later. I'll see you guys tomorrow. It's Friday. Yay. Happy Friday. Okay, so I'm about to say it. Which method do you prefer, like diamond or... It just looks back at the problem you explained, but isn't 36 squared already Dot's problem? Okay, Kara, before I leave, it is a Dot's problem, but the very first step that you always do is take out the greatest common factor. You have to take out the greatest common factor. Diamond division, yes, and I will do that, not tonight, I'll do that again in class sometime. Okay, and you want to know what? If you take a look at my Algebra 1 videos that I have already posted, I'm pretty sure, I know for a fact I have one on difference of two squares, and I probably have one with diamond and division. So, okay, nice and short, 10-minute mark. Have a nice night, everybody. Tell your parents you love them. Bye.